Hi everybody, it is me, Karen Maloney, and I wanted to jump on and record a quick video. I just did another beautiful meditation and there were so many messages coming to me that I actually wrote them down. I wanted to share some of them with you because again, they're messages for me, for you, for all of us, for the collective. And in my meditation, I connected with the consciousness of the coronavirus. Like everything has a consciousness. You can connect with it as well. And these are some of the messages that came through. First of all, one of them was to notice our fragility as a human race. And I mentioned this before, how, we think we have all the power, but actually to come back and notice how maybe robotic we were being in our lives, how we were always focusing on the doing. We weren't being human beings. We weren't being enough. And that was one of the messages that came through, to begin to notice our beingness again, our humanness, both within ourselves and with everyone around us as well. A message as well, I suppose, connected to that is that we need to sit with ourselves more. We need to do the inner work. Again, this is not something that's new. I've mentioned this before, but it's that inner work of sitting, of being with ourselves, of processing all our old pain, hurts, angers, fears, whatever resides within us. And again, it's not just for us because we're all connected. It's often ancestral, generational, societal, educational, like it's everything, but it's just sitting with it. And another message was not to, yes, we've been given this gift of time, and this is a time we've been given to pause, to reflect, to renew. It's not a time to keep ourselves completely and utterly distracted like we've been doing with externals up until now. It's not that time either to keep ourselves distracted with the next Netflix series or whatever. It's allowing our time as well and using this pause. I mean, it's fine to watch them, but not to be continuously all day, every day going, oh my God, what am I going to do next? How am I going to distract myself next? Because that totally defeats the purpose. That is not doing the work. So that was a message that was coming up as well. And we need to feel everything that we've pushed down, everything that we've suppressed, everything we tried to run away from, everything we tried to deny, everything we tried to blame on someone else, every expectation, every should, everything. We need to feel them to heal them. Okay, it's time to get out of the victim story. As Buddha says, life is suffering, but that doesn't mean it's all horrible. We still have a choice in staying in the suffering or moving through it. Everyone has a story, everyone goes through shit, and everyone's story is relevant to them. But again, it's just not to stay there. And this is the time to purge all these old hurts, all these old pains, all these old angers, resentments, fears that we're holding on to, because everything resides in us on a cellular level until we choose to release them. And this is our time, this is our pause to feel. And that's all we have to do, is feel them, to heal them, witness, notice, allow. Without the story, without the drama, without the judging, without the criticizing. Just allowing these emotions to come up. And when we feel them, we heal them. They dissipate. So it's that allowing that we're really being called to now. As well, connecting with nature. That came up so strong as well. And I was actually outside sitting on the grass. And this is something that we all need to do. It may not be sunshine, it doesn't matter. But get outside in your garden if possible. I know a lot of people live in apartments and everything all around the world. It may not be possible, and you have to be vigilant and listen to all the precautions and advice that's been put in place. But also, where possible, get outside, connect with nature, sit on the grass if possible, but at least take off your socks and shoes and just connect and be and allow that energy to come up. Nature is our spirit. Nature is our home. Nature is our everything. We are all living organisms and we cannot survive without nature, but we have lost that disconnection, most of us. So connecting back to nature is so powerful. And if you can't get outside, if you have a plant at home or a flower, just try stare at it, feel its energy, but just connect back to nature. Yeah, and again, just moving through the pain, coming back to our bodies, just coming back to our bodies, moving out of our minds and into our bodies. And Tony Robbins has a saying, live in your head and you're dead. And we do. When we live in our thinking mind, it is so logical and limited that it will not help us out of crisis or difficulties. That's when you absolutely, there's a lot of people saying they're losing their minds. I'm like, great, that's kind of what we need to do. Get out of that limited thinking mind to allow us to connect to our body, our energy, our essence, our soul, and allow that life force to flow through us. So connecting back to our body and moving through, whatever blocked emotions come up. And, if you need to cry or scream or have a pillow fight or, punch a punching bag, not another person, but release it. Release that emotion. Do whatever you need to do. We're in a global transformation. That's happening, whether you want to bury your head in the sand or not, this is happening. But the global transformation, it starts with us individually first. We have to transform ourselves in order to transform our externals and others around us. It all starts with us, and it all starts with us feeling, coming back to our bodies and feeling and allowing and trusting and knowing that we are being supported. It doesn't give us a free pass to be foolish, but we do need that trust in knowing that we are fully supported even in this. But yes, there is due diligence to be done because we always have free will choice, and we can absolutely be so careless if we want to. And that's our choice. But that's really kind of foolish. Yeah, and again, it's just that time to connect to our hearts, to drop all judgments and criticisms and comparisons and just come back home to ourselves. And when we do that, we realize that we're already perfect, whole and complete and enough exactly as we are. But you need to break down through the walls, those barriers, those blocks we have up, those blocked emotions in order to get back to that truth. And that is the truth we all need to reach for within ourselves now during this global transformation. And like that, it'll be messy and it'll be hard, but it'll be oh so worth it. And there's nothing to fear, because buying into fear, you're living up here in your head. Not a good place to be. Again, there are fears and that's a reality. But again, it's our choice whether we choose to live there and feed that reality all the time, feed that consciousness all the time, or choose something different. Yeah, I've said, stop distracting ourselves from this work. Even now that we've been given this pause, it is the time to connect back to ourselves, to do our inner work and not just keep ourselves distracted with other series or programs or whatever to distract us. Okay, stop the distraction. Also that, it's so important that we connect to our bodies because our bodies are the channels. We're like walking frequencies, and we are the channels that these energies need to pass through to transform and transmute. We have to help this process because we are the channels. We're living organisms. We're connected to all other living organisms on the planet. That's why it's so important that we reevaluate our relationship with ourselves, with the animals, with nature, with everything, with others. But most importantly, again, it starts with ourselves. We're not separate. Again, there's no more denying or judging any part of ourselves or criticizing any part of ourselves. It is a full acceptance and a re-embracing and reintegration of every single part of ourselves. The shame, the bits we want to hide, the bits we don't want to look at, the shadow aspects. That's exactly where we need to look now and just allow. Again, it's not the criticizing, it's not the story, it's not playing the victim. It's allowing, acknowledging and reintegrating them back into ourselves to come back into harmony, and then from there, creation. Also, another interesting message that came up, and sorry I'm reading these as well, but there was just so many important things. I just don't want to lose any of them. And if I was trying to think of them all off the top of my head, surely I'd miss a few. Another one is that accepting death is really powerful as well. It's something we all need to do, because when we don't accept death as a possibility, and again, this is not morbid, okay? This is not morbid. This is full on facing reality, because death is for all of us. Not any single one of us will be able to bypass that. But if we constantly have a fear of it, or don't accept that it is a possibility at some time, I'm not saying during this crisis, at some time, it is absolutely certain for all of us. But when we don't accept that fact, we're living in fear. We're constantly living in fear. And again, when we're living in fear, that's a non-acceptance. That means we're not here in the present moment. So acceptance of death is so, so vital. And again, that's not to be foolish and be like, yeah, okay, I'll do whatever I want during this crisis because, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Absolutely not. But it's that internal acknowledgement and acceptance that this will happen. Then I can be more present, more grateful, more loving, do the inner work and be here now and not have to worry about that aspect. Hope that makes sense. And with that, again, the message that we never know what tomorrow brings. So don't worry about tomorrow. Do your due diligence. Be here now and be and love and accept and be grateful and do the work and honor and respect yourself and just enjoy the moment, because none of us know what tomorrow brings. No matter if everything is going absolutely incredibly well or we're in a crisis, we never know. But in this crisis now, we have the potential to not just wait around to see, I'm going to wait and see how things pan out. A lot of people were all waiting to see what's going to happen. And yes, there is an element of waiting, absolutely. But also within that waiting, we can do so much. And now it's about elevating. And now it's about doing the work, getting quiet, pausing, silence, going through our own inner pain, turmoil, releasing it, purging it, so we can move to higher vibrations. They're lower vibrations that are keeping us stuck, that are keeping us down. And when we acknowledge them and release them, we're helping ourselves and everyone else and the collective. And it's in this waiting period, instead of just sitting around and distracting ourselves and literally waiting, we have the potential, when we all come together, when we all do our work, when we all do a daily silence or meditation or just being with ourselves, we can help this pass quicker than if we just sit around and twiddle our thumbs and distract ourselves and simply wait. We have the power to shift the consciousness, to move through this quicker when we all come together and do the work. And that's really, again, the message. And, for a lot of us who've been in this process a long time and doing the inner work, we're not free also. Now there are deeper and deeper levels that we need to go. And I think anyone who is on this journey and has been on this journey a long time understands that there are always levels. So we are being called to go deeper. And then people who have not even started, you are being called now to start. And please, that is an invitation for all of us to start, and people already on their journey to go deeper. Because again, that's how we're all going to help each other up. Okay, we all need to keep moving up the ranks now, moving up in higher vibrations, in energies. But that won't happen if we don't do it. It is down to us. The power is in our hands. I believe in you. I believe in all of us. We have got this. and sit. So my invitation to you is to sit and put on some nice music, light a candle, meditate, whatever, get out in nature and just connect to that consciousness. Connect to the consciousness of the coronavirus and ask, what are you here to show me? What are you here to teach me? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I expand from this and help myself and help others through this? How can I help elevate the globe throughout this period? They're the questions we all need to ask. And if you get quiet and you sit and you do your work, you will be given the answers. All those messages just came to me when I connected and asked those questions from the consciousness of the virus right now. That's everything that came to me. And I'll connect again and again and again. And we all need to do it. So let's do this. It is such an opportunity in time. It really, really is. But like I've said before, it is messy. It can be scary. But where do you choose to put your attention? This is the greatest moment in history that we have come to live so far. And we are all here. We're all meant to be here because we all are capable of doing the work. So do the work. I'll be doing my work. We can go deeper. We can rise and we can elevate this quicker than just sitting around and waiting. I love you. See you soon.